Well, I'm open 7 days a week. That's always been true. And I'm open on holidays. I'm open on Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's, of course. I'm usually here 100 hours a week, more than 100 hours a week. When I started doing it, I didn't know that I would be doing this 43 years later. And I like people, and I like to talk, and so I just thought it would be something I like to do. I mean, I wasn't ever trying to make a business. I was trying to make something to do every day. According to Billboard, I was the largest mom and pop store in the United States. There's definitely, I would say, more than 50,000 records in here. Used to, I wanted to just keep making the store bigger and bigger. Yeah, but then at some point I realized it was impossible, just as one person. I never had a full-time employee. I had people that helped and worked for merchandise. Well, it's just a picture of the old store that I had before I was here, that I had for the one that I had for the longest. It's a huge room. It was actually, this was 3 movie theaters here, and there was 4. After being there so long and spending so many hours, it was like my home, actually. And I didn't want to change. It was like, I don't know, there was always some kind of magic there, it seemed like. Except there were some bad times too. I was advertising I would buy any record anybody brought in. I mean, I would buy all records. I didn't even look at the condition. Well, my accountant used to tell me, he said, you need to quit buying so much inventory. You have way too much of everything. You'll have to have a whole lot of money to keep this thing going, because, Sid, you're not going to be able to sell enough stuff this day to pay your bills. I know. I thought it was going to come back. I thought that people were always going to keep buying records. It just got worse every day. Worse every day. And I still kept buying until I didn't have any money to buy it anymore. But then it was when I just had to start hawking the house and sell my car, and because I'd used the money up. Then I realized I couldn't sign another lease. I knew I would never be able to sell it all. I wouldn't, if I had sold it all, then I wouldn't have anything to keep doing it with anyway. I have lots of records, and I can always sell them, and I mean, maybe, I don't need to sell any exorbitant amount, but it all goes for the bills. I mean, if I had a fancy lifestyle or something, I wouldn't be able to make it, but I'm just happy to be at a record store every day and get my cigarettes and my Diet Coke. Don't have a girlfriend, don't have a boyfriend, don't I've been in a store for 40-something years, and I don't have any. Every friend that I have is somebody I know from my store. I mean, it's a blessing. It's not a curse in any way, because look at all the lovely people.
Well, give me a hug. You're a good man.
Well, it's my 72nd birthday party, and it's also Record store day. My birthday is actually tomorrow, but it's a combination birthday party.
He's the definition of an authentic human being. He is so genuine in everything that he does.
The record buying process is, you thumb through sort of what you're looking for. And
Nothing is alphabetized. You never know what you're gonna find.
you can rummage around the boxes and boxes of rows and rows of records that Bill has sort of amassed over the decades. And this is just a third of what he has. He's got, holy smokes, twice as many over at Southside, just next door.
You could be digging for hours and find something that might be the only record that's in there.
And you pick out what you want, you bring it to Bill, and he'll take a look, he'll flip through, and maybe take the sleeve out, put it back in, and does some computations in his head, and all of a sudden a number spits out, and that is what it is. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually remembers the record and what he paid for it and when he got it. Now, I don't know if two people come in if you're going to get the same price or not.
Thanks for having us. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Bill. Good luck, man.
Well, you can hang out I don't charge people to hang. You can hang out all day without buying a thing.
Mainly the whole thing is music's the only thing I can think of that people don't fuss about and they don't fight about much, or it brings people together. So, and I think everybody likes music. There's not any word to me that encompasses what life is more than love, whether there's sadness or whatever, because I think that's what it boils down for me when I try to figure out what the essence of what I've wanted in my whole life. Well, it's not a story, it's just a person trying to raise my own understanding and consciousness of life and living, and hopefully raise some other people's state of consciousness. That's what it always was. Life is love. Love life, and I do. I love it. Equally, by loving things, you can also have sad moments and stuff like that, but then can have real sad moments, but it's like always, I always believe that everything's gonna be all right. Sometimes I act like, oh, you have little faith, but I honestly know in my heart that I believe that everything's always gonna be all right.